This video contains disturbing imagery involving sexual conversation towards minors and other disturbing imagery. Also, don't harass anyone mentioned in this video. By doing so, you're only making the situation worse and actively not contributing to the situation. Hello, everyone, this is TD here. Today I'm going to be covering some allegations I have recently heard about against someone. That person is known as RoxSerpent, who is the co-creator of Flavor Frenzy Dandy's World and is a former contributor to both Tower Heroes and Data Brawl. So, this isn't really a small name within the Roblox community, but rather someone who has helped create several well-respected games on the platform. Unfortunately, Rox appears to like kids. AKA bro has committed the fave. Hell, the guy even has a 64-page document exposing him that you can find in the description down below. And there's also another developer that I would like to mention known as Quell, who a predator isn't, although also isn't necessarily the greatest of people as well, that I'll be showing why towards the end of the video. Now on to the actual point, as I've done enough yapping. Victim number 1. Akababi, who was 13 while being sent explicit messages about Paige, a 15-year-old, while Rox was 17. Already with these messages, this would constitute as something we call grooming, which is illegal and immoral. Now this victim was also contacted by someone else about the whole incident, who was kept anonymous both by me and the writers of the document, which you can see with these screenshots. Honestly, the way this was confronted is one of the best I've ever seen in a case like this. Not only was it addressed in a positive and comforting manner, but the person asking questions allowed the victim to speak clearly and respectfully. Now on to victim number 2.
To the end of 2020 and the beginning of 2021, I had decided to leave the Data Brawl community, both for out of guilt of what happened, and because I stopped enjoying being in the community.
Rox does claim he left Data Brawl after guilt of what happened and that he stopped enjoying being a part of that community. This is, however, complete and utter bullshit, with the actual catalyst being something entirely different. At the time, Rox was in a relationship with Tom, with there being someone else called Anon. Rox had feelings for Anon, but Anon did not feel the same way about Rox. Sometime later, Anon began dating another person, which Rox took great offense to. Rox took this opportunity to vilify and treat Anon like shit while victimizing himself. Here's some other messages that Rox sent attempting this behavior. There's even an alleged cheese pizza drawing that Rox sent while being 18. He would also draw stick figure revenge, hyperlink blocked, involving 2 minors, which were just recently found. The person who was the subject of these drawings was someone known as Gary, who was 15 years old at the time of the drawings. I hopefully don't need to explain why that's disgusting or immoral. There's even more that Rox has done that I'll also go over for you. These screenshots were sent while Rox was 2 months from turning 18, with a majority of the people involved being 14. Now some of the people involved in the incident would make differing statements about the situation that occurred. With all of this evidence placed against Rox, he would respond to the allegations placed against him. However, the response is so bad it goes with the likes of "it's fake bro" or "I still profited," as Rox would use the death of his cat as an attempt to get sympathy. And despite all the evidence against him, Quell would for the longest time protected this predator. Quell would also use numerous excuses to attempt to defend Rox, despite the fact that a 17-year-old can still be a groomer. She even knew what Rox was doing behind the scenes but decided to do nothing about it, either out of negligence or just straight up enabling a predator. She would even ban someone for just simply talking about the situation. However, it does appear that Quell would eventually decide to remove Rox from Dandy's World. But this seems to have only happened after Rox was called out by a fellow content creator. Lemmy would call him out and get 350,000 views on his video. Talk about damage control. Now personally, that's really all I wanted to say about this situation. I think this should give a rough overview of who Rox is as a person, and I did a far better job here than I did with a particular fish. I might make a part 2 by reviewing the responses in more detail, or might say something else if Rox gets banned or something. With this out of the way, I would prefer to go back to the videos I was making. After all, it's already in production and should at the latest release next week.